a property manager in the city of Toronto who transferred $500,000 in condominium reserve funds to an alleged cryptocurrency investment company known as Pink Piggy Investment Group has had his license to manage condos in Ontario revoked. So the grounds cited by the License Appeal Tribunal for revoking the license included violations of the Condominium Act relating to conflicts of interest. So he's a member of the Pink Piggy's board of directors. And there's also issues around the notice and approval, that not all the board was aware of the transaction. And there was apparently some deceptive or untrue terminology in the notice. And he said, look, if I had to wait for approval from the board, I'd never get anything done. So in my mind, silence from the board was a tacit approval of what I was going to do. That was roundly rejected. And the situation for owners is increasingly fraught, with many owners receiving claims based on personal biases or beefs. This is good. They got rid of a bad apple, as somebody said, but it's this one guy is not indicative of the entire system. Someone who is a great member of the real estate community, Develle Morrison with Bosley Real Estate, is joining us this morning. Good morning, Develle.
Morning. How are you?
I'm good. What do you think of this story?
Yeah, it's really interesting. There's no way that any condo board should be investing in crypto. The reserve fund money is really to be protected at all costs. And usually, condo boards are, it's suggested that they would invest in, let's say, a money market fund or, something that is incredibly safe, because that's a lot of money that people who live in the building are going to be relying on.
Well, yeah, Develle, tell us, what is that reserve fund supposed to be used for? How easily should it be accessible? I mean, it seems to me if you put it in crypto, like it's a little farther removed than, say, if they have an issue that needs to be dealt with and paid for immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. So the reserve fund is really for long-term projects. It's for, long-term capital kind of structural projects that you would have on the condo building. So, every 3 years, an engineering firm goes through the building to figure out what are the things that are going to need to be replaced. The roof, the windows, balcony railings, all of that, the elevator, all of the not so sexy stuff.
Yeah.
And so essentially that's what the reserve fund is. It's a portion of people's maintenance fees every single month that get put in towards this fund. And it's like a rainy day fund.
Yeah.
Should you need to fix the roof, fix the elevator, all these things, that's what it's there for. So, you don't need all of it to be accessible unless you have a big project coming up, but you certainly need that money to be really, really, really safe.
Yeah, if I found out that we couldn't fix a big issue with the condo because the property manager had taken the money and put it into a company that he was on the board of, and he hadn't checked with the condo board, yeah, I would be looking for swift justice.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, this has happened before, not necessarily where the property manager owns part of the crypto company, but it has happened before that there have been condo boards that have suggested investing in crypto. The jury's still out on crypto, and there's some of us, myself included, I'm like, I don't believe in it. I just think it's a Ponzi scheme. But there's some people that are diehard crypto investors, right?
Yep.
And so you can't take that same attitude to being on a condo board when you're managing money that needs to be safe.
Yeah, very good point. Hey, let's move on to, we only have a few minutes left. I really want to talk about this disappointing news. I mean, we keep talking about housing strategies and speeding up the development and construction of these much needed homes across Canada. And now we find out that more than 11,500 housing units are delayed in Toronto. That's 4 times as many as we had last summer.
Yep. So Urban Nation, I mean, they do incredible work, and they basically research condos. And so, yes, they've come up with a study to say that, there's almost 11,600 delayed units over 29 projects in the city of Toronto. And, this is due to high interest rates. There's really lack of market confidence. So for a condo developer to actually start building, their lender usually needs them to sell 70 to 80% of the units before they can have their loan released by the bank so they can actually start building. So if they can't get the sales up to that 70 to 80%, then they can't start building because the bank simply won't release the funds. And we know interest rates are still super high. Construction costs are high. There's been a huge lack of labor. So it's really, really difficult for some of the developers to start building. And then there's the fact that a lot of the investors who buy these condos have stopped purchasing their pre-construction condos simply because the interest rates are so high.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are so many threads to pull at here, but this is, you literally have a crisis that every level of government acknowledges and recognizes that we have to fix. And the end goal for everyone is the same: more houses built faster.
Yeah,
and yet we can't get there. Like, what? Why can't we solve this, Devel?
Well, I think that they don't consult with the people who actually work in the condo development industry. And a couple of things: they could offer interest-free loans so that they could actually start building. But there's still the huge issue of the development charges and the taxes that the condo developers have to pay for each unit, which is clearly starting to make purchasing these condos unaffordable.
Well, it's adding hundreds of thousands of dollars to and one day what I'd like to do is have you back, and I want to go over some of these charges and fees that I have to assume haven't existed forever. I have to assume a lot of them are new and relatively new. So
they keep going up.
Yeah, they keep going. But the houses that were built in this city 50 years ago, I guarantee, I know nothing about this subject, I guarantee you that the fees were not the same. And those houses are still standing. So don't tell me it's about safety. And if that's slowing these things down, get rid of them.
It's a cash grab, right? It's development charges, park levies, education levies. And if you took a condo for $600,000, about $150,000 of that is going towards government taxes, development charges, etc. So a $450,000 condo is certainly a lot more affordable than a $600,000 condo.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we're going to have to leave it there, Devel. Thank you so much. But yes, I very much like that idea of breaking down these fees one day so that people who are in the market and looking to buy know exactly why the price is so high. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great Sunday.
Thanks for having me.